Morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Yeah? Okay. Hey, everyone. I know. You're tired. You're tired. You want to go to sleep. Morning, Christina. You can go to sleep. You can go to sleep. You can go to sleep, 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 sleep. Shh, 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 shh. I know. I know. Tell me more about that. Yeah. What else? Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. You say good morning? Good morning, good morning. We're trying to go to sleep. Good morning to you. Morning. Okay, what else? What else? Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. What do you have to say? Oh no, she got out of her crib on her own. That's always a moment when they can finally do that. I am dreading the day. We can't even stand yet, so thankfully it's not yet, but she's your older one, so it was bound to happen. Ay, 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 ay. Made it 18 months. I mean, that's pretty good. My nephew's 18 months. I don't think he's climbed out of the crib yet. I think he probably could, but I think he's just choosing not to. I don't know. Is he 18 months? He might be 19 months now. Let's see. Oh no, he's more than that. He's like 20 months. 22? I don't know. His birthday's in May. So I guess he's 22 months. It shows what I know, huh? Shows what I know. Hey Amanda, how are you? Did everyone have a rip-roaring time last night? Watching me prank myself rather than you guys? Yeah? Yeah? Is that funny that Mommy got April Fool's? That Mommy thought she was pranking other people, but she pranked herself? That was silly Mommy? Cried internally, me too. Yes, me too. But it was funny. I have to say it. It was funny. Sometimes I can't even count how many weeks ever. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like sometimes with her, I'm like, hey, wait a second, and I'm like, instead of even a morning. Oh no, what is everything? I mean, if it's tomorrow morning, I guess everything's not okay. It's actually sunshiny here today, which it hasn't been for a couple of days. Maybe we'll go for a walk today. Maybe we'll go for a walk today. What do you think of a walk? What do you think about a walk? Could we do a walk? Could we do a walk? Yes, yes, yes. Could we do a walk? Could you do a nap? Hopefully it just means more people can benefit on the gas levy. Yes, definitely. That's what that means, Amanda, for sure. It's pretty funny, though. It is pretty funny. Something good, Gavin. Look at that hiker. I know. She's so good now. Isn't that crazy? She's really got crazy head control. You should see her during tummy time. It's crazy. Me and my therapist have fun watching this. You guys watched it together? That's funny. That is funny. It was a wild time, I'll tell you what. It was a wild time. What do you think about a nap, Miss Little Miss? How do you feel about a nap? Feel good about a nap? Good morning, Tiffany. Yeah, she's pretty, she's doing a good tummy time head lifting and all that stuff, for sure. For sure. Yeah, you are, huh? Yeah, you have good head control, huh? Yeah. Do you? Do you want a nap? 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 Nap, 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 nap. Boop, 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 a nap. She says, no, Mom. No, I don't. I know she has great eyelashes. She looks like she's wanting to be on the move already. You should see her when she's in tummy time. She like tries to like push off to crawl. Notorious for sleep regressions at every. Yes, we're dealing with that right now, Amanda. We are in the middle of one of those right now. I know. I love ring slings. I love woven wraps. Big fan. Big fan. Yeah. She's not big enough for the structured carrier yet, but I have a couple of those that I'm excited to try that a couple people have given me. Really, really lovely. I love this one. This is our favorite one. We love this one. I know this won't be good for her for forever, but for right now, it's a perfect size for us. Yes, yes, yes. We are the perfect size for the sling right now, huh? Yeah. And I know, just in case anyone's worried, I know that footy pajamas are not recommended for wraps, but they say if you size one size up, and these are very loose on her feet, so the reason they're not usually recommended is if they're tight over their feet. Not only that, her feet can come out, because they can, these are the loop over kind, so her little toesies could come out if she needs to. So if anyone was worried that she's wearing these in the sling, it will not inhibit her little toesies. They're right there. They're free. I know that that's a concern some people have, but I know that the rule is size up the onesie if you're gonna do it. Yeah, flip overs are fun. Yeah. I know you're in a grumbly mood. You want to go in your bouncer when we get to the chair, maybe. You don't want to be with mommy. You don't want a nap, but you need a nap. It would be so nice. Yeah? What do you think? A nap? What do you think about a nap? What do you think? This would be so cool for you. Yeah. She said, what do you mean it would be so cool for me? It would be so cool for you, Mommy. That's right. She said, I'm an independent woman. That's right. She said, you're saying cool for me, but what you mean is cool for you. It is true. She's right. It would be cool for me. I agree. But if she wants to be in the bouncer, I'll put her in the bouncer. It's fine. It's fine. She can be in it. Morning, Avery. Okay. Just fixing some stuffs. We're sitting down. We're putting y'all on the tripod. Okay, last chance, little miss. Do you want to be with mommy or do you want to be in the bouncer? You want to be in the bouncer. Okay, okay. Mommy will put you in the bouncer. That's fine. Let me just get it over here closer to me. You want to come out so I can put you in it? And they can see your onesie. Look at this cute little onesie today. We're in our Valentine's Day onesie, even though it's not Valentine's Day because, well, it's just so cute. How can we not wear it a bunch of times? Right? Isn't that right? That's right. Okay. Woo. Now you're in your bouncer. Are you happier now? She goes, yeah. She's got this face on. If she could give me a thumbs up, she'd be doing it right now. Right? Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. She's looking at my coffee cup like she wants it. You know what, honey? It's just too soon. It doesn't matter that we're Italian. You can't have coffee when you're an infant. You gotta wait a little while. I understand that you're Italian and you yearn for the espresso, but it's not time yet, sweet pea. It's just not time yet, baby girl. Before we start the Hunger Games, I thought maybe we would read one of our baby book club books first. Yeah, Do we want to learn about fruit in Italian today? What do you think, sweetheart? My first book of fruits. Frutta. Apple, mela, orange, arancia, watermelon, cocomero, coconut, noce di coco, banana, pineapple, ananas. Weird, right? Peach is pesha, not to be confused with pêché, which is fish. Confusing, right? Mango is mango. Cantaloupe is melone. This is a honeydew melon though, they drew it wrong. Date is datero. Cherry is cileglia. Pomegranate is melograno. Strawberry is fragola. Pear is pera. Grape is uva. Papaya is still papaya. It's also ananas in Russian, I didn't know that. Guava is guava. Plum is prugna. Kiwi is kiwi. Raspberry is lampone, which is similar in French. Grape, bless you. May I continue? Okay. Grapefruit is pompelmo. Avocado is avocado. So, how do you feel about that book? You look unsure on your feelings. I'll let you rate it later. You don't have to rate it right now if you don't want. Your Goodreads is still being developed. Should we do one more? How about Hello Baby Animals before we get into the Hunger Games? Bless you. All right, Hello Baby Animals. Here we go. 2 stars? Harsh. Whoa, way harsh, Roxy. Hello Baby Animals. Hello Baby Bunny. What's going on, Zebra? What's up, Chick? Hi there, Piggy. Hi, Piggy. Good to see you, Baby Elephant. Quack, quack, Baby Duck. Ni hao, little panda. What's happening, pretty penguin? Inaccurate fruit descriptions. That's true. You're technically correct. Hola, baby owl. Hello, happy day to all my baby friends. Wow. Owl. Hello, happy day to all my baby friends. Wow. You're not even looking, sweetheart. You gotta look at the baby friends. Emily. Oop. I'm a genius. Look at all the baby friends. Baby girl. Yeah, okay, she's done with me. That's fine. She can be done with me. It is a great cup, I agree. It was a gift from my goddaughter, Natasha. You had those books too? Yeah, she loves them. My goddaughter, who was on the live the other day, is the one who gave me this. She gave it to me for my birthday, I want to say like 3 years ago. It's a great book. Mug, I mean. No, mommy, no comments. It's true. She says no comments. Are you good? Can we read now? She seems very content right now, actually. She's just chilling in her bouncer, eyes glancing left and right, all around, toes curled. Yeah. Okay, let's read. We are on part 2, if I remember correctly, because, yeah, part 2 is the games, as you can see here, and it is chapter 10. We're already on chapter 10, you guys, if you can believe that. We're on page 133 out of 370 something, so yeah. I guess a little over, I guess we're about a third through. Yeah. Are you ready to read chapter 10, sweet girl? Uh-huh. Okay, great. Let's do it. For a moment, the camera's hold on Peeta's downcast eyes, and what he says sinks in, bless you. Then I can see my face, mouth half open in a mix of surprise, protest, and it's magnified on every screen as I realize, me. He means me. I press my lips together and I stare at the floor, hoping this will conceal the emotions that are starting to boil up inside of me. Oh, that is a piece of bad luck, says Caesar, and there's a real edge of pain in his voice. The crowd is murmuring in agreement, and a few have even given agonized cries. Yeah, it's not good, agrees Peeta. Well, I don't think any of us can blame you, bless you again. It'd be hard not to fall for that young lady, says Caesar. She didn't know. Peeta shakes his head. No, not until, just now. I allow my eyes to flicker up to the screen long enough to see that the blush on my cheeks is unmistakable. Wouldn't you love to pull her back up here and get her response? Bless you, so many sneezes. Is the sun in your eyes? Should we shift a little bit so the sun's not? I didn't think the sun was in your eyes. Didn't look like it was, but let's try that. The crowd screams in assent. Well, sadly, rules are rules, and Katniss Everdeen's time has been spent. Well, best of luck to you, Peeta Mellark. And I think I speak for all of Panem when I say that our heart goes with you. Bless you. The roar of the crowd is just deafening. Peeta has absolutely wiped the rest of us off the map with his declaration of love for me, and when the audience finally settles down, bless you. What is going on? Do you have a boogie that's making you sneezy? Do you have a boogie that's making you sneezy? Hi, beautiful angel. Hi, my angel. When the audience finally settles down, he chokes out a quiet, thank you, and returns to his seat. We stand for the anthem. I have to raise my hand out of the required respect and cannot avoid seeing that every screen is now dominated by a shot of Peeta and me, separated by just a few feet that the viewers' heads can never really breach. Poor, tragic us. But I know better. After the anthem, the tributes file back into the training center lobby and onto the elevators. I make sure to veer into the car that does not contain Peeta. The crowd slows our entourage of stylists, mentors, and chaperones, so we have only each other for company. No one speaks. My elevator stops to deposit four tributes before I'm alone, and then I find the doors opening on the 12th floor. Peeta has only just stepped from his car when I slam my palms into his chest. He loses balance and crashes into an ugly urn filled with fake flowers. The urn tips and shatters into 100 tiny pieces, and Peeta lands in the shards, the blood immediately flowing from his hands. What was that for? He says, aghast. You had no right to go and say those things about me, I shouted him. And now the elevators open and the whole crew is there. Effie, Hamish, Cinna, Portia. What is going on? Says Effie, a note of hysteria in her voice. Did you fall? After she shoved me, I did, says Peeta as Effie and Cinna help him up. Hamish turns on me. You shoved him? This was your idea, wasn't it? Turning me into some kind of fool in front of the entire country, I answer. It was my idea, says Peeta, wincing as he pulls the spikes of pottery from his palm. Hamish just helped me with it. Yeah, Hamish is very helpful to you, I say. You are a fool, Hamish says in disgust. Do you think he hurt you? That boy just gave you something that you never could have achieved on your own. He made me look weak, I say. He made you look desirable. And let's face it, you can use all the help you can get in that department. You were about as romantic as dirt until he went and said he wanted you. Now they all do. They're all talking about it. The star-crossed lovers from District 12, says Hamish. But we're not star-crossed lovers, I say. Hamish grabs my shoulders and pins me against the wall. Who cares? It's a big show. It's all a show. It's all about how you're perceived. The most I could say about you after your interview is that you were nice enough, although that in itself was just a small miracle. Now, I can say you're a heartbreaker. Oh, how the boys back home will be falling all over themselves longingly at your feet. Which do you think is going to get more sponsors? The smell of wine in his breath makes me sick. I shove his hands off my shoulders and step away, trying to clear my head. Cinna comes over and he puts his arm around me. He's right, Katniss. I don't know what to think. I should have been told at least, so I didn't look stupid. No, your reaction was perfect. If I'd known, or if you'd known, it wouldn't have read as real, Portia says. She's just worried about her boyfriend, says Peeta gruffly, tossing away a bloody piece of the urn. My cheeks burn against the thought of Gale, but I don't have a boyfriend, I say. Whatever, says Peeta, but I bet he's smart enough to know a bluff when he sees it. Besides, you didn't say you love me, so what does it matter? Morning.
The words are sinking in. My anger's fading. I'm now torn between thinking that I've been used and thinking that I've been given an edge. But Hamish is right. I survived my interview, but what was I really? A silly girl spinning in a sparkling dress, giggling? The only moment of any substance I had was when I talked about Prim. Compare that with Thresh, the silent, deadly power, and I'm, well, forgettable. Silly and sparkly and forgettable. No, not entirely forgettable. I do have my 11 in training. But Peeta now has made me an object of love, not just his. To hear him tell it, I have many admirers, and if the audience really thinks we're in love, and remember how strongly they responded to his confession, star-crossed lovers, Hamish is right. They eat that stuff up in the capital, and suddenly I'm worried that I didn't react properly. After he said he loved me, did you think that I could be in love with him too? I asked. I did, said Portia. The way that you avoided looking at the cameras, the blush on your cheeks. The others chime in agreeing. You're golden, sweetheart. You're going to have sponsors lined up around the block, says Hamish. I'm embarrassed about my reaction. I force myself to acknowledge Peeta. I'm sorry I shoved you. Doesn't matter, he shrugs, although it is technically illegal. Are your hands okay? I ask. They'll be all right, he says. In the silence that follows, the delicious smell of our dinner wafts in from the dining room. Come on, let's eat, says Hamish, and we all follow him to the table and take our places. But then Peeta's bleeding too heavily and Portia leads him off for medical treatment. We start the cream and rose petal soup without them, and by the time we finish, they're back. Peeta's hands are wrapped in bandages. I can't help feeling guilty. Tomorrow we'll be in the arena. He's done me a favor, and I've caused him an injury. Will I never stop owing him? After dinner, we watch the replay in the sitting room, and I seem frilly and shallow and twirling and giggly in my dress, although the others assure me that I am charming. Peeta actually is charming, though, and he's utterly winning as the boy in love. And there I am, blushing and confused, made beautiful by Cinna's hands, desirable by Peeta's confession, and tragic by circumstances, and by all accounts, unforgettable. But when the anthem finishes and the screen goes dark, a hush falls on the room. Tomorrow at dawn, we're going to be roused and prepared for the arena. The games don't actually start until 10 because so many of the capital residents rise late, but Peeta and I must make an early start. There's no telling how far we'll have to travel to the arena that has been prepared for this year's games. I know Hamish and Effie will not be going with us. As soon as they leave here, they're going to be at the game headquarters, hopefully madly signing up our sponsors, working out a strategy on how to deliver the gifts to us. Cinna and Portia will travel with us to the very spot from which we'll be launched into the arena. Still, final goodbyes must be said here. I know, it seems crazy, right, sweetheart? Effie takes both of us by the hand with actual tears in her eyes, and she wishes us well. Thanks us for being the best tribute she's ever had the privilege to sponsor. And then, because it's Effie, she's apparently required by law to say something awful, so she adds, I wouldn't be at all surprised if I finally get promoted to a decent district next year. And then she kisses each of us on the cheek and hurries out, overcome with either the emotions of parting or possibly the improvements for her future. Hamish crosses his arms and looks over at both of us. Any final words of advice? Peeta asks. When the gong sounds, get the hell out of there. You're neither of you up to the bloodbath of the cornucopia. Just clear out. Put as much distance as you can between yourselves and the others and find a water source, he says. You got it? And after that? I ask. Stay alive, says Hamish. It's the same advice that he gave us on the train, but he's not drunk and laughing this time, and we only nod. What else is there to say? When I head to my room, Peeta lingers to talk to Portia, and I'm glad. Whatever strange parting words we would have exchanged can wait till tomorrow. My covers are drawn back, but there's no sign of the red-headed Avox girl. I wish I knew her name. I should have asked it. She could write it down maybe, or act it out, but perhaps that would only result in more punishment for her. We're on chapter 10, Eliana. I take a shower and scrub the gold paint, the makeup, the scent of beauty from my body. All that remains of the designs team's efforts are the flames on my nails, and I decide to keep them as a reminder of who I am to the audience. I'm Katniss, the girl who was on fire. Perhaps it will give me something to hold on to in the days to come. Yeah. You look like you're on the edge, like you want to get out. Is that true? You want out? You want out?
Wee.
You can hang with mommy. That's okay. I know you have the hiccuppies. It's no fun. No fun. Hiccups. Hiccups are no fun. I know. I'm sorry, my baby. I pull on a thick, fleecy nightgown. Oh, honey, I know you hate the hiccups. I pull on a thick, fleecy nightgown and climb into bed. It takes me about 5 seconds to realize I'll never fall asleep. And I never sleep desperately because, and I need sleep desperately because in the arena, every moment I give into fatigue will be an invitation for death. It's no good. 1 hour, 2, 3 pass, and as my eyelids refuse to get heavy, I can't stop trying to imagine exactly what terrain I'll be thrown into. Desert, swamp, a frigid wasteland. Above all, I'm hoping for trees, which may be after some means of concealment and food and shelter. Often there are trees because barren landscapes are dull and the games resolve too quickly without them. But what will that climate be like? What traps have the game makers hidden to liven up the slower moments? And then there are my fellow tributes. The more anxious I am to find sleep, the more it eludes me. And finally, I'm too restless to even stay in bed. I pace the floor, heart beating too fast, breathing too short. My room feels like a prison cell, and if I don't get air soon, I'm going to start to throw things again. I run down the hall to the door to the roof. It's not only unlocked, but it's ajar. Perhaps someone forgot to close it, but it doesn't really matter. The energy field enclosing the roof prevents any desperate forms of escape, and I'm not looking to escape, only to fill my lungs with air. I want to see the sky and the moon on that last night that no one will be hunting me. The roof is not lit at night, but as soon as my bare feet reach its tiled surface, I see his silhouette, black against the lights that shine endlessly in the Capitol. There's quite a commotion going down on the streets, music and singing and car horns, none of which I can hear through the thick glass window panes of my room. I could slip away now without him noticing me. He wouldn't hear me over the din. But the night air is so sweet, I can't bear to turn back to my stuffy cage of a room. And what difference does it make, whether we speak or not? Are you asleep? Did you fall asleep? No, you're awake. Okay. My feet move soundlessly across the tile. I'm only a yard behind him when I say, "Hey, you should be getting some sleep." He starts, but he doesn't turn. I can see him give his head a slight shake. I didn't want to miss the party. It is for us, after all. I come up beside him and I lean over the edge of the rail. The streets are full of dancing people, and I squint to make out their tiny figures in more detail. Are they in costumes? Who can tell? Peeta answers. With all the crazy clothes they wear here, couldn't sleep either, though. Couldn't get my mind to turn off. I say, "Thinking about your family?" He asks. No, I admit a bit guiltily. All I can do is wonder about tomorrow, which is pointless, of course. In the lights from below, I can see his face now, the awkward way he holds his bandaged hands. I really am sorry about your hands. Doesn't matter, Katniss, he says. I've never been a contender in these games anyway. That's just no way to be thinking, I say. Why not? It's true. My best hope is not to disgrace myself and... He hesitates. And what? I don't know how to say it exactly. Only, I want to die as myself. Does that make any sense? He asks, and I shake my head. How could he die as anyone but himself? I don't want them to change me in there, to turn me into some kind of monster that I'm not. I bite my lip, feeling inferior. While I've been ruminating on the availability of trees, Peeta's been struggling about how to maintain his identity, his purity of self. Do you mean that you're not going to kill anyone in there? I ask. No. When the time comes, I'm sure I'll kill anyone just like everybody else. I just can't go down without a fight. I only keep wishing that I could think of a way to show the Capitol that they don't own me, that I'm more than just a piece of the games, says Peeta. But you're not, I say. None of us are. That's how the game works. Okay, but within the framework, there's still you, there's still me, he insists. Don't you see it? A little, only no offense, but who cares, Peeta? I say. I do. I mean, what else am I allowed to care about at this point? He asks angrily, and he locks those blue eyes on mine, demanding an answer. I take a step back. I don't know, care about what Hamish said, about staying alive. Peeta smiles at me, sad and mocking. Okay, thanks for the tips, sweetheart. Hey, Susan. It's like a slap in the face, his use of Hamish's patronizing endearment. Look, if you want to spend the last hours of your life planning some noble death in the arena, then that's your choice. I want to spend the last hours of my life in District 12. Wouldn't surprise me if you do, says Peeta. Give my mother my best when you get back, will you? Count on it, I say, and then I turn to leave the roof. That's a harsh scene. That's a way harsh scene. I spend the rest of the night slipping in and out of a doze, imagining the cutting remarks that I'll make to Peeta Mellark in the morning. Peeta Mellark. We'll see how high and mighty he is when he's faced with life and death. He'll probably turn into one of those raging beast tributes, the kind who tries to eat someone's heart out after they've killed them. There was that guy like that a few years ago from District 6. He was called Titus. He went completely savage, and the game makers had to have him stunned with electric guns to collect the bodies of the players that he'd killed before he ate them. There are no rules in the arena, but cannibalism doesn't play well with the audience in the capital, so they tried to head it off. There was some speculation that the avalanche that finally took Titus out was specifically engineered to ensure that the victor was not a lunatic. I don't see Peta in the morning. Cinna comes in before dawn and simply gives me a shift to wear and guides me to the roof. My final dressing and preparations will be done in the catacombs under the arena itself. A hovercraft appears out of thin air, just like one did in the woods the day that I saw the red-headed Avox girl get captured. And a ladder drops down. I place my hands and feet on the lower rungs, and instantly it's as if I'm frozen. Some sort of current glues me to the ladder while I'm lifted safely inside. I expect the ladder to release me, but then I'm still stuck when a woman in a white coat approaches me carrying a syringe. "This is just your tracker, Katniss. The stiller you are, the more efficient I can place it," she says. Still? I'm a statue, but that doesn't prevent me from feeling the stab of pain as the needle inserts a metal tracking device deep under the skin inside of my forearm. Now the game makers will always be able to trace my whereabouts in the arena. Wouldn't want to lose a tribute. As soon as the tracker is in place, the ladder releases me, and the woman disappears, and Cinna is retrieved from the roof. An Avox boy comes in and directs us to a room where breakfast has been laid out. Despite the tension in my stomach, I eat as much as I can, although none of the delectable food makes any impression on me. I'm so nervous that I could honestly eat coal dust. The one thing that distracts me at all is the view from the windows as we sail over the city and then to the wilderness beyond. This is what birds see, only they're free and they're safe, the very opposite of me. The ride lasts about half an hour before the windows black out, suggesting that we're near the arena. The hovercraft lands and Cinna and I go back to the ladder, only this time it leads down to a tube underground into the catacombs that lie beneath the arena. We follow the instructions to my destination, a chamber for my preparation. In the capital, they call it the launch room. In the districts, it's referred to as the stockyard, the place animals go before slaughter. Everything is brand new. I'll be the first and only tribute to use this launch room. The arenas are historic sites preserved after the games, popular destinations for capital residents to visit, to vacation. They go for a month, they rewatch the games, they tour the catacombs, they visit sites where deaths took place. You can even take part in reenactments. They say the food is excellent. I struggle to keep my breakfast down as I shower and clean my teeth. Cinna does my hair in a simple trademark braid down my back, and then the clothes arrive, same for every tribute. Cinna has no say in my outfit now. He doesn't even know what will be in the package, but he helps me dress in the undergarments, simple tawny pants, light green blouse, sturdy brown belt, and a thin hooded black jacket that falls to my thighs. "The material in the jacket's designed to reflect body heat. Expect some cool nights," he says. The boots worn over skin-tight socks are better than I could have hoped for. They're soft leather, not unlike my ones back home, and these have narrow, flexible rubber soles with treads, though. Good for running. I think I'm finished when Cinna pulls the gold Mockingjay pin from his pocket. I'd completely forgotten about it. "Where did you get that?" I ask. "Got it off the green outfit you wore on the train," he says. I remember now taking it off my mother's dress and pinning it to that shirt. "It's your district token, right?" I nod as he fastens it onto my shirt. "It's barely cleared the review board, though some thought that the pin could be used as a weapon, giving you an unfair advantage, but eventually they let it through," says Cinna. "They're eliminating a ring from that District 1 girl, though. If you twisted the gemstone, a spike popped up. A pointed one. She claimed she had no knowledge that the ring transformed. There's no way to prove she did, though, but she did lose her token. There you go. You're all set. Move around. Make sure everything feels comfortable." I walk, I run in a circle, I swing my arms about. "Yeah, it's fine. Fits perfectly." "All right, then there's nothing to do but wait for the call," says Cinna, "unless you think you could eat some more." I turn down food, but I accept a glass of water that I take tiny sips of as we wait on the couch. I don't want to chew on my nails or my lips, so I find myself gnawing on the inside of my cheek. It still hasn't fully healed from a few days ago. Still, the taste of blood fills my mouth. Nervousness seeps into terror as I anticipate what's to come. I could be dead, flat out dead in an hour, not even. My fingers obsessively trace the hard little lumps on my forearm where the woman injected the tracking device. I press on it. Even though it hurts, I press on it so hard that a small bruise begins to form. Yeah? Do you want to talk, Katniss? Cinna asks, and I shake my head, but after a moment I hold out my hand to him, and Cinna encloses it in both of his. This is how we sit until a pleasant female voice announces that it's time to prepare for launch. Still clenching one of Cinna's hands, I walk over and I stand on the circular metal plate. All right, remember what Hamish said. Run, find water. The rest will follow, he says, and I nod. And remember this, I'm not allowed to bet, but if I could bet, my money would be on you. Truly? I whisper. Truly, says Cinna. He leans down and he kisses me on the forehead. Good luck, girl on fire. And then a glass cylinder is lowering around me, breaking our handhold and cutting him off from me. He taps his fingers under his chin, head held high. I lift my chin as I stand as straight as I can. The cylinder begins to rise. For maybe 15 seconds I'm in darkness and I can feel the metal plate pushing me out of the cylinder into the open air. And for a moment, my eyes are dazzled by the bright sunlight, and I'm conscious only of a strong wind with the hopeful smell of pine trees. And then I hear the legendary announcer, Claudius Templesmith, and his booming voice all around me. Ladies and gentlemen, let the 74th Hunger Games begin. Dun dun dun. How long do we think chapter 11 is? It's about the same. I know, right? I need a sip of coffee, and then we can try to read chapter 11. I know, sweetheart, I know. All right. Chapter 11. 60 seconds. That's how long we're required to stand on our metal circles before the sound of a gong releases us. Step off before the minute is up and landmines blow your legs off. 60 seconds to take the ring of tributes all equidistant from the cornucopia, a giant golden horn shaped like a cone with a curved tail, the mouth of which is at least 20 feet high, spilling over with things that will give us life here in the arena. Yeah, she's napping, yeah. Food, containers of water, weapons, medicine, garments, fire starters, strewn all around the cornucopia are other supplies, their value decreasing the farther they are from the horn. For instance, only a few steps from my feet there lies a 3-foot square of plastic. Certainly, it could be used in some sort of downpour, but there in the mouth I can see a tent pack that would protect from almost any sort of weather. If I had the guns to go in and fight for it against all the other 23 tributes anyway, which I have been instructed not to do. Excuse me. We're on a flat, open stretch of ground, a plain of hard-packed dirt. Behind the tributes across from me, I can see nothing, indicating either a steep downward slope or an even cliff. To my right lies a lake, to my left and back sparse piney woods. This is where Hamish would want me to go, immediately. I hear his instructions in my head. Just clear out, put as much distance as you can between yourselves and the others, and find a source of water. But it's tempting, so tempting when I see the bounty waiting there before me, and I know that if I don't get it, someone else will. That the career tributes who survived the bloodbath will divide up most of these life-sustaining spoils. Something catches my eye. There, resting on a mound of blanket rolls, is a silver sheath of arrows and a bow already strung, just waiting to be engaged. That's mine, I think. It's meant for me. I'm fast. I can sprint faster than any of the girls in our school, although a couple of them can beat me in distance races. But this is a 40-yard length. This is what I'm built for. I know that I can get it. I know that I can reach it first, but then the question is, how quickly can I get out of there? By the time I've scrambled up the packs and grabbed the weapons, the others will have reached the horn, and I might be able to pick off one or two, but there's a dozen, and at that close range, they could take me down with spears and clubs, or maybe even just their powerful fists. Still, I won't be the only target. I'm betting that many of the other tributes would pass up a smaller girl, even one who scored an 11 in training, to take out a more fierce adversary. Hamish has never seen me run. Maybe if he had, he would have told me to go for it, get the weapon, since that's the very weapon that might be my salvation. I only see one bow in that entire pile, and I know the minute must be almost up, and I'll have to decide what my strategy will be, and I find myself positioning my feet to run. not away into the surrounding forest, but towards the pile, toward the bow, when I notice Peta. He's about 5 tributes to my right, quite a fair distance. I can still tell he's looking at me, and I think he might be shaking his head, but the sun is in my eyes, and I'm puzzling over it as the gong rings out. And I've missed it. I've missed my chance, because those extra couple of seconds I've lost by not being ready enough to change my mind about going in. My feet shuffle for a moment, confused at the direction my brain wants to take, and I lunge forward and I scoop up a pile of sheet plastic and a loaf of bread. The pickings are so small. I'm so angry with Peta for distracting me that I sprint 20 yards to retrieve a bright orange backpack that could hold, well, anything, because I can't stand leaving with virtually nothing. A boy, I think from District 9, reaches the pack at the same time I do, and for a brief time we grapple for it, and when he coughs, splattering my face with blood, I stagger back, repulsed by the warm, sticky spray. Oh! And then the boy slips to the ground, and that's why I see the knife in his back. Already the other tributes have reached the cornucopia and are spreading out to attack. Yes, the girl from District 2, 10 yards away, running toward me, one hand clutching half a dozen knives. I've seen her throw in training. She never misses, and I am her next target. All the general fear that I've been feeling condenses to an immediate fear of this girl, this predator who might kill me in seconds. Adrenaline shoots through me, and I sling the pack over one shoulder and run full speed for the woods. I can hear the blade whistling toward me, and reflexively I hike the pack up to protect my head. The blade lodges in the pack, both straps on my shoulders now. I make for the trees, and somehow I know the girl will not pursue me, that she'll be drawn back to the cornucopia before all the good stuff is gone. A grin crosses my face. Thanks for the knife, I think. At the edge of the woods, I turn for one instant to survey the field. About a dozen or so tributes are hacking away at one another at the horn. Several lie dead already on the ground, and those who have taken flight are disappearing into the trees or the void opposite of me. I continue running into the woods until they've hidden me from all the other tributes, and then I slow to a steady jog, and I think I can maintain it for a while. For the next few hours, I alternate between jogging and walking, putting as much distance as I can between myself and my competitors. I lost my bread during the struggle with the boy from District 9, but I managed to stuff the plastic in my sleeve, so as I walk, I fold it neatly and tuck it into a pocket. I also free the knife. It's a fine one with a long, sharp blade serrated near the handle, which will make it handy for sawing through things, and I slide it into my belt. I don't dare stop to examine the contents of the pack yet. I just keep moving, pausing only to check for pursuers. I can go for a long time. I know that from my days in the woods, but I'm gonna need water. That was Hamish's second instruction, and since I sort of botched the first one, I keep a sharp eye out for any sign of it, but no luck. The woods begin to evolve, and the pines are intermixed with a variety of trees, some I recognize, some completely foreign to me. At one point, I hear a noise, and I pull my knife, thinking that I might have to defend myself, but I've only startled a rabbit. Good to see you, I whisper. If there's one rabbit, there could be hundreds just waiting to be snared. The ground slopes down, and I don't particularly like this. Valleys make me feel trapped. I want to be high, like in the hills around District 12, where I can see my enemies approaching. But I have no choice but to keep going. Yep, that's my baby. Funny though, I don't feel too bad. The days of gorging myself have paid off. I've got staying power even though I'm short on sleep. Being in the woods is rejuvenating. I'm glad for the solitude, even though it's an illusion, because I'm probably on screen right now. Not consistently, but off and on. There are so many deaths to show the first day that the tribute trekking through the woods isn't much to look at, but they'll show me enough to let people know that I'm alive, uninjured, and on the move. One of the heaviest days of betting is the opening, when the initial casualties come in, but that can't compare to what happens as the field shrinks to a handful of players. It's late afternoon when I begin to hear the cannons. Each shot represents a dead tribute. They never collect the bloodbath bodies until the killers have dispersed. On opening day, they don't even fire the cannons until the initial fighting's over because it's too hard to keep track of the fatalities. I allow myself to pause, panting as I count the shots. 1, 2, 3, and on they go until they reach 11. 11 dead in all, 13 left to play. My fingernails scrape at the dried blood from the boy from District 9 that he coughed into my face. He's gone, certainly. I wonder about Peta. Has he lasted through the day? I'll know in a few hours when they project the dead's images into the sky for the rest of us to see. And all of a sudden, I'm overwhelmed by the thought that Peta might already be lost. bled white and collected in the process of being transported back to the capital to be cleaned up, redressed, and shipped in a simple wooden box back to District 12. No longer here, heading home. I try hard to remember if I saw him in the action when it started, but the last image I can conjure up is Peter shaking his head as the gong rang out. Maybe it's better. If he's already gone, I mean. He had no confidence that he could win, and I will not end up with the unpleasant task of killing him. Maybe it's better if he's out of this for good. I slump down next to my pack, exhausted. I need to go through it anyway before night falls to see what I have to work with, and as I unhook the straps, I can feel it's sturdily made, although a rather unfortunate color. This orange will practically glow in the dark. I make a mental note to camouflage it first thing tomorrow. I flip open the flap. What I want most right now is water. Hamish's directive to immediately find water is not arbitrary. I won't last long without it. For a few days, I'll be able to function with unpleasant symptoms of hydration, but then dehydration. After all that, I'll deteriorate into helplessness, and I'll be dead in a week, tops. I carefully lay out the provisions. One thin black sleeping bag that reflects body heat, a pack of crackers, a pack of dried beef strips, a bottle of iodine, a box of wooden matches, a small coil wire, a pair of sunglasses, a half-gallon plastic bottle with a cap for carrying water, but it's bone dry. No water. How hard would it have been for them to fill up that bottle? I become aware of the dryness in my throat and my mouth and my cracked lips. I've been moving all day long. It's been hot and I've sweat a lot. I do this at home, but there's always a stream to drink from or snow melting, if it should come to it. As I refill my pack, I have an awful thought. The lake, the one that I saw while I was waiting for the gong to sound. What if that's the only water source in the entire arena? The way they'll guarantee drawing us into a fight. The lake is full day's journey from where I sit now, a much harder journey with nothing to drink, and then, even if I reach it, it's sure to be heavily guarded with some of the career tributes. I'm about to panic when I remember the rabbit I startled earlier today. It has to drink too. I just have to find out where. Twilight is closing in and I'm ill at ease. The trees are too thin to offer much concealment. The layer of pine needles that muffles my footsteps also makes tracking animals harder when I need their trails to find water. And I'm still heading downhill, deeper into the valley that does seem endless. I'm hungry too, but I don't dare break into my precious store of crackers and beef yet. Instead, I take my knife and I go to work on a pine tree, cutting away the outer bark and scraping off a large handful of soft inner bark. I slowly chew the stuff as I walk along. After a week of the finest food in the world, it's a little hard to choke this down, but I've eaten plenty of pine in my life. I'll adjust quickly. There's another roll for slime tomorrow, but I think it might be after dark. I have to look at the schedule. I'm not 100% sure. Not sure. We might make some tonight. I don't know. It depends on if Secret Husband gets out of his meetings early or not. In another hour, it's clear that I've got to find a place to camp. Night creatures are coming out, and I can hear the occasional hoot or howl, my first clue that I'll be competing with natural predators for the rabbit. As to whether I'll be viewed as a source of food, well, that's too soon to tell. There could be any number of animals stalking me at this very moment, but right now I decide to make my fellow tributes a priority. I'm sure that many will continue hunting through the night. Those who fought it out at the cornucopia will have food and an abundance of water from the lake, torches or flashlights, and weapons that they're itching to use. I can only hope that I've traveled far and fast enough to be out of range. Before settling down, I take my wire and set 2 twitch-up snares into the brush. I know it's risky to be setting up traps, but food will go fast out here, and I can't set snares on the run. Still, I walk another 5 minutes before making camp. Roll for Slimes on TikTok tomorrow. Oh, thank you for checking, Amanda. I appreciate that. So Roll for Slimes tomorrow here on TikTok. I pick my tree carefully. It's a willow. It's not terribly tall, but it's set in a damp clump of other willows, offering concealment with those long, flowing tresses. I climb up, sticking to the stronger branches close to the trunk, and I find a steady fork to make my bed. It takes some doing, but I arrange a sleeping bag in a relatively comfortable manner. I place my backpack in the foot of the bag, and then I slide in after it, and as a precaution I remove my belt and loop it all the way through the branch in my sleeping bag, and I refasten it at my waist. Now if I roll over in my sleep, I won't go crashing to the ground. I'm small enough to tuck into the top of the bag and put it over my head, but I put on my hood as well, and as night falls, the air is cooling quickly. Despite the risk I took in getting the backpack, I now know it was the right choice. This sleeping bag, radiating back and preserving my body heat, will be invaluable. I'm sure that there are several other tributes whose biggest concern right now is how to stay warm, whereas I may actually be able to get a few hours of sleep. If only I wasn't so thirsty. Night has just come when I hear the anthem that precedes the death recap. Through the branches I can see the seal of the Capitol, which appears to be floating in the sky. I'm actually viewing the screen as an enormous one that's transported by one of the disappearing hovercrafts. The anthem fades out and the sky goes dark for a moment. At home, we would be watching the full coverage of each and every killing, but that's enough to give an unfair advantage to the living tributes. For instance, if I got my hands on the bow and shot someone, my secret would be revealed to all. No, here in the arena, all we see are the same photographs that they show when they televised our training scores. They're simple headshots, and now, instead of scores, they post only the district numbers. I take a deep breath as the faces of the 11 dead tributes begin, and I tick them off one by one on my fingers. The first that appears is the girl from District 3. That means that the career tributes from 1 of 2 have all survived. No surprise there. And then the boy from District 4, I didn't expect that one. Usually all the careers make it through the first day. The boy from District 5, I guess the fox-faced girl made it out. Both of the tributes from 6 and 7 are gone. The boy from 8, both from 9. Yes, there's the boy who I fought the backpack for the backpack. And I've run through my fingers. Only one more dead tribute to go. Is it PETA? No. There's the girl from District 10. That's it. The Capitol seal is back with final musical flourish, and then darkness and the sounds of the forest resume around us. I'm relieved that PETA's alive. I tell myself again that if I get killed, his winning will benefit my mother and Prim the most. This is what I tell myself to explain the conflicting emotions that arise when I think of PETA, the gratitude that he gave me an edge by professing his love for me in the interview, the anger at his superiority on the roof, the dread that we might come face to face any moment in the arena. 11 dead, but none from District 12. I try to work out who's left. 5 career tributes, Foxface, Thresh, and Rue. Rue. So she made it through the first day after all. I can't help feeling a little glad. That makes 10 of us. The other 3 I'll figure out tomorrow. Now, when it's dark, I've traveled far and I'm nestled high in this tree, and now I must rest. I haven't slept in 2 days, and there's been a long day's journey into the arena, and slowly I allow myself and my muscles to relax. My eyes are closed. The last thing I think is that it's lucky I don't snore. Snap! The sound of a breaking branch wakes me. How long have I been asleep? 5 hours? 4? The tip of my nose is icy cold. Snap, snap! What's going on? This is not the sound of a branch under someone's foot, but the sharp crack of someone coming from a tree. Snap, snap! I judge it to be several yards to my right. Slowly, noiselessly, I turn myself in that direction, and for a few minutes there's nothing but blackness and some scuffling, and then I see a spark, and small fire begins to bloom. A pair of hands warms over the flame, but I can't make out more than that. I have to bite my lip not to scream every foul name I know at the fire starter. What are they thinking? A fire lit at just nightfall would have been one thing, but those who battled in the cornucopia with superior strength and a surplus of supplies, they couldn't possibly have been near enough to spot the flames then. Now they've probably been combing the woods for hours looking for victims. You might as well be waving a flag and shouting, "Come and get me," if you light a fire. And here I am, a stone's throw from the biggest idiot in the games, strapped into a tree, not daring to flee since my general location has been broadcast to any killer who cares. I mean, I know it's cold out there and not everyone has a sleeping bag, but then you grit your teeth and you stick it out until dawn. I lie smoldering in my bag for the next couple of hours, really thinking that if I can get out of this tree, I won't have the least problems taking out my new neighbor. My instinct has been to flee, not to fight, but obviously this person's a hazard. Stupid people are dangerous, and this one probably doesn't have much in the way of weapons, while all I've got is an excellent knife. The sky is still dark, and I can feel the first signs of dawn approaching. I'm beginning to think that we, meaning the person whose death I'm now devising and I, we might actually have gone unnoticed, and then I hear it, several pair of feet breaking into a run. The fire starter must have dozed off. They're on her before she can escape, and I know it's a girl now. I can tell by the pleading, the agonizing scream that follows, and then there's laughter and congratulations from several voices. Someone cries out, 12 down and 11 to go, which gets a round of applause from an appreciative hoots from those around. So they're fighting in a pack. I'm not really surprised. Often alliances are formed in the early stages of the games. The strong band together to hunt down the weak, and then when tensions become too great, they begin to turn on one another. I don't have to wonder too hard who's made it into an alliance. It'll be the remaining career tributes from Districts 1, 2, and 4. 2 boys, 3 girls. The ones who lunched together. Yeah, she's sleeping. For a moment, I can hear them checking the girl for supplies, and I can tell by their comments they found nothing good. I wonder if the victim is Rue, but I quickly dismiss the thought. She's much too bright to have been building a fire like that. Better clear out so they can get the body before it starts to stink. I'm almost certain that that's the brutish boy from District 2. There are murmurs of assent, and then, much to my horror, I hear the pack heading toward me. They don't know I'm here. How could they? And I'm well concealed in a clump of trees. At least while the sun stays down, I am. And then my black sleeping bag will turn from camouflage to trouble. If they just keep moving, they're going to pass me and they'll be gone in a minute. But the careers stop in the clearing about 10 yards from my tree. They've flashlights, they've got torches, and I can see an arm here, a boot there. Through the breaks in the branches, I turn to stone, not even daring to breathe. Have they spotted me? No, not yet. I can tell from their words that their minds are elsewhere. Shouldn't we have heard a cannon by now? I'd say yes, nothing to prevent them from going off immediately. Unless she isn't dead. She's dead, I stuck her myself. All right, then where's the cannon? Someone should go back and make sure the job's done. Yeah, what we don't want is to have to track her down twice. I said she's dead. An argument breaks out until one of the tributes silences the other. Wasting time, I'll go finish her off, let's get moving. I almost fall out of the tree. That voice belongs to PETA. I totally forgot that. I totally forgot that. Oh my God. I completely forgot that. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot. What a wild time, you guys. Wild times. I can't imagine not being mad at him for that. Good Lord. Good Lord. Well, yeah, I mean, it is 9:30. I have to get to my regular work for the day, unfortunately. Yes, I still have to work. I gotta go pack all those orders from last night, of which there are so many. So many. So those can go to the post office today. I know, what a cliffhanger, right? Well, I'll try to be on tonight for Slime, no promises. I know, I wish we could do book club all day long. I know, it's such a spot. It's such a spot to end at. If I had my druthers, you guys, if I was a wealthy woman, we would have book club all day. It's true, it's true. Secret Husband and I are trying to figure out a way to work a schedule out where somehow I can write that second book. That's something that we're trying to figure out also, but I do still have to, do slime stuff, but maybe someday I'll get that second book written. That would be nice, right? Yes. Maybe, what if we sponsor you for the second book? Oh man, Jen, as much as I would love that, I first of all can't ask people to do it, and second of all, it would be so much, like, you guys don't understand. I just had to pay an amount in taxes. Yeah, that's probably why he shook his head at her. I had to pay an amount in taxes that will basically, my taxes will take up almost 2 full restocks worth to pay. That's how much I had to pay in taxes, which, only burns my toast because I know that Jeff Bezos isn't paying anything. The fact that I pay more in taxes than Jeff Bezos really burns my toast, burns my toast. Like, I understand that we all have to pay taxes as regular folks. Yeah, small business taxes are no joke. They are no joke. They charge us out the behind, you guys. I really wish that Jeff Bezos had to pay more than me. I think that would be fair. I really do. Yeah, I think that would be fair. Next year, though, I'm going to have a giant write-off, right? It is a ridiculous backwards country. Yeah. Yep, we all paid more than him. Because I guarantee you he paid goose egg. But, you know, it is what it is. I will tell you, do you guys do you want to know something really, really heinous? Do you guys want to know how much my taxes would have been before all the small business write-offs? Oh no, Julia, so child support only comes in the United States if you are not with the other parent, which I am. My friend owns a vinyl installation business and it's so dumb. It's so dumb. So obviously I have a lot of write-offs being a small business, and the fact that I work from home helps because having a home office is a write-off and things like that. But do you guys want to know what the number was before that? The number before the write-offs between California and the federal government was $25,000. $25,000. Yes. $25,000. Yeah. Well, you were right about just federal, Jen. The other 5 came from California. Obviously, I'm not actually having to pay that much because I do have a number of write-offs. It hits hard, Amanda. It totally does. It's like they penalize us for not working for a corporation. Which is not cute. Not cute. But it is what it is. Yeah, so being in California doesn't help because California has high income tax, more than most places. Yeah, I tally up everything, Amanda. You betcha. I mean, everything from, like, you know, if I, you name it. Every charm, every glue, every glitter, you know, every lost package, every package that breaks in the mail, all of those. I count up every single one because, yeah, everything. Yeah. That's a good point, Amanda. I should have added paper towels because I use them to clean up, you know, the slime messes. You were born in California? I unfortunately was not born in California. I was born while my mom was on vacation, so I was born in New Jersey. Yes, electricity and water, we get a portion of, Julia, because I work from home. We can't write off all of those bills because some of them are for our regular living, of course, but a portion of it. It's based on the square footage of the whole home and the amount that the slime room is. Yep, transporting the packages, wear and tear on the car, the whole shebang. You were born in Anaheim? Oh my gosh, Disney baby. That's amazing. That's not too far from here. Maybe like an hour away. Not bad, not bad. All right, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna eat breakfast. I'm gonna pack those orders so that they can go to the post office, and then we will get to more sliming. I don't know what I was gonna say. I have no understanding. Yes, devices for work. Yeah, there's so many devices for work and stuff. I know, isn't it the cutest little PJs? These were her Valentine's PJs, but because she still fits in them, we wear them all the time because they're so cute. All right, I will, sorry guys, I'm taking you off the tripod. I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys. The Haunted printer was deducted last year, Cindy. Yeah, last year.